So here is a video about the workflow I talk about on the forum. So if you open your Fusion Cubic presets, so if I close this, if I go to my Fusion tab, you have your cubic geometry palette. You open it, then you set your placement, for instance, to combine and align scale to elements, and placement multiple. So what happens if I, for instance, select these polygons when I click that button, and please select mesh preset. Of course I have to select a mesh preset, so I'm going to select that cone down over here, click this icon, and now you see that all those cones get scaled and aligned to that selection. Now the disadvantage is that these all are separate mesh layers, so I could cut them and paste them into that mesh layer, and now they are selected, and I have a script to do a boolean in the same mesh layer. So when I run that, you see that now everything gets booleaned. Now of course this is at the polygon center, but if you, for instance, create separate geometry like I have done here, so I have made a selection set, I'm going to select these polygons now. Now you can place them and align them any way you like, of course, and scale them, and then run the script. Now they get placed and aligned according to that helper geometry. So again, I'm going to cut them and paste them in that layer. Now, of course, the helper geometry, and I'm first going to create a new set, cut, and then select my helper geometry and Control X, Control V. Now you could streamline this, of course, so I'm going to select this and invert it, for I need my, oh, and those are also separate meshes. So for instance, I will probably have boundary, yes, the mesh is not closed, so that's a bit annoying, so I have to optimize this workflow. So for the script to work, I have to select my cutter geometry, so connect it, and now run the Boolean script, and now you see you get a different Boolean according to your helper geometry. So again, if I put that over there, now select them, I have my preset selected, do that again, Control X, Control V, and now do my Boolean, and they are not at the polygon center anymore, they are exactly where I placed my helper geometry. So if precision of scaling and alignment is important, then this is the workflow that I would prefer over a script that randomly does the boolean. So I'm going to uncomment this and uncomment this. So with that cone selected, if I run the script, then that's a completely different result, and then you would have to actually edit the shape and the placement. Well, yeah, you would have to edit the place and the shape of your presets, which can be annoying because that would also take a lot of time to edit everything the way that it should perform. Whereas with this helper geometry, all you need to do is select it, edit it. For instance, if I want this to be bigger, select everything, with that cone selected, run that script, cut and paste it over here, run the Boolean, and you see now I have a different hole over here. Of course, I have done doubles at the same position, so that's not good, but I should have edited the other polygons also. But you see, this is actually pretty fast. The downside also is that your shader tree gets populated with a lot of group masks, so you have to delete these, and of course also your item list gets populated with a lot of empty meshes, but there should be some scripts somewhere to delete empty meshes. I believe Seneca has such a script, and I could create such a script also, of course, to delete empty mesh layers. That's not such a big deal. But again, if precision is important, that's actually the workflow that I would prefer. So if I move that down, for instance, to over there, local axis, scale everything a bit up, like that, select again everything, run my script from the cubics palette, get everything, go to that mesh layer, and control, oops, so control X, go to that mesh layer, control V, and run my Boolean, and again, my Boolean has been performed. So there are some polygons that are not quite optimized with this Boolean, but that's of course of the Boolean operations. So, but anyway, with this method you get a bit of an idea of the amount of precision that you get, and it's pretty fast. You just need to do a bit of cleanup, which can of course be annoying. If I, for instance, rotate this one like that and that like so, again everything gives you a lot of control over size and placement. So run that script, control X. Now of course I'm going to first maybe create a new layer because that other geometry already is a bit, oops, that's not the one, so that was my original one. Was it? No, it's that one. No, that is that one. So select my cones, control X, go to my new geo, run the boolean, and now I have complete control over how I want to do my cuts, how big they are, how they should be aligned, and so on. You just need to do a little cleanup, but that's actually the way I would prefer over the script I created. Because, like I said, the script I've created also needs a lot of work to actually edit the presets the way, the size you want them, and aligning them. At the moment they are also aligned at the center of the polygon, but that's actually not such a big deal to edit it. I could use the workflow like in the first script so that it's actually at the mouse pointer, but if I run the boolean now, you see it's a big hole. So if I want small holes like that, I would have to edit the preset each time. Again, that's more work than actually using your helper geometry and scaling that. And of course you can make copies of that. So if I want a certain size, then I simply copy and paste that into a new mesh layer, and I keep my original. I can resize and put that somewhere else the way I like, run that, go to component mode, control X, put it in this layer, and when it's selected, run my boolean, and now you see. So That's the workflow I would prefer. So hope you found this useful.